but I had to come back because it was budgeted that way. The thing that I hate about living back at home,
10 o'clock, feeding for the guap.
Hey YouTube, it's your friendly neighborhood Natural Lex, or you may know me as Chocolax on YouTube. Back with another video. I'm telling y'all right now, this video is going to be long. Normally, bigger creators with more subscribers and bigger platforms, when they post long videos, their subscribers would be like, yes, we love the long videos. When I post long videos, y'all be like, you talking too much. So I've been telling you guys that I wanted to try to get into different types of content, vlogs and stuff like that, and I've been saying that literally for like the past 2 years, and where the content at? Anyways, living with your parents in your 20s, let's talk about it. So when I graduated from undergrad, I graduated in 2016, and immediately after that I moved back in with my parents. The transition from college to being out on your own, a lot of people do not like be on their own immediately after they graduate from college. It's, I'm not gonna say like extremely rare, but it's more common to have college graduates not really know what the hell's going on, for lack of better words. 2016, I moved back in with my parents. I thought that I was gonna be going to PT school. So I was like, I'm not gonna be here for that long anyway. I'm just gonna be here, apply to PT school. Once I get into school, I'm gonna move out. Well, I never went to PT school. I have a video on my channel about that as well, about that whole experience, applying and all of that. From 2016 up until 2019, I was here with my parents. In 2019, I decided that, you know, PT school was not for me. I couldn't get into a good school, so I stopped applying to PT school and I started applying to just regular grad school, regular master's program, I should say. And I got in to Georgia State. I moved to Atlanta. Y'all should know this. If you have been subscribed to my channel for a bit, you should know. At the end of 2019, I found out I got accepted. It was October 2019, and my program was gonna be starting in January 2020. So I moved out of my parents' house and moved to Atlanta. January 2020, I start school. 2 months later, March 2020, COVID. That was 2 years ago. While I was in Atlanta, I was like, I want to stay down here. When I graduate from grad school, I want to stay down here in Atlanta. Clearly, that didn't happen because I'm making this video. Spoiler alert. I had intentions on staying down there at the beginning, but as time passed, while I was nearing the end of my graduate program, me staying down there in Atlanta was not going to be a good idea because it just wasn't. The job that I had at the time was like trash in terms of pay, in terms of something that I wanted to do long term, in terms of like working there in the future. Not somewhere that I wanted to stay because I saw zero advancement for myself in my career at that job. I finished in May 2021. I have a video about why I didn't stay in Atlanta. So this kind of ties into that. Y'all should go watch that video as well. I had to pay for my last semester of school out of pocket. That was a hot ass mess, literally a nightmare. And then once my lease ended in August of 2021, all signs just pointed back to home. I did have another job lined up. I've been there now for almost 7 months. After I graduated, or finished my program, after my lease ended, August 2021, I officially moved all my stuff back to my parents' house. My parents are not those kick you out at 18, get it out the mud, you gotta get out once you finish high school. They were not those types of parents at all. So I've always been welcome, and they've always told me, as long as we have a house, like, you can come back, you can come here. So what did I do? I came back, and I have been back home since August of 2021. Great, right? No, just kidding, kinda. Being home has its perks, just like being out on your own has its perks. When I lived by myself in Atlanta, what a time. Having my own space just like being comfortable by myself. It was so freeing. I did get lonely sometimes, but most of the time, like, I was chill. At that time, it was the beginning of the pandemic, so there was so much unknown. I would literally just like be in my apartment. At that point, my program went to online, like it remained online for the rest of my program. I was not leaving my apartment. My job that I was working while I was in school was also work from home, 100% remote. So like while I was in Atlanta, I was like just in my own little box. And that's why I feel like I didn't get the really true Atlanta experience, because yes, a lot of people was outside, but for me, I was in my apartment because I'm introverted. So staying to myself, being in the house, you know, as long as I got something to do, I would be working on my YouTube videos, posting on social media, TikTok, and doing my schoolwork and working. What I need to come outside for? I would go grocery shopping. Sometimes I would go to like my favorite places like Target, Marshalls, Ross, whatever. And that's really what I would do. I was not really out like that, but it didn't bother me. That was my first time living like by myself. It taught me like what it's gonna be like when I get out on my own, like for real. Having to pay rent, going grocery shopping, cleaning up, you know, just having your own space, maintaining that space. It showed me what that was like. Although it didn't last for long, it showed me what it was like. And so I do appreciate my time that I had in Atlanta. But I had to come back because I needed to save some money, honestly and truly. I've been back home since August 2021, working remote. Out of all the jobs that I've had like in my life, I would say that this one is probably the most promising. I will say that. Where I'm at right now, do I see myself being there for a long time? No, but I'm learning a lot and I am setting myself up for wherever I'm going to go next, which is very important to me. One thing that I am really starting to focus, there's so many cars going by for some reason, I don't know. One thing that I've kind of been focusing on more now is like career development and career growth and where I want to be at a certain time in my life or whatever. When I started YouTube and things started to happen for me on here, which really nothing, honestly y'all, nothing has really happened for me on YouTube besides me getting monetized. I started out my YouTube channel as a hobby and then I grew to love it, and then I was like, oh, we can capitalize off this. Yes, I want to get monetized, and then I did get monetized. Nothing really happened, like my channel didn't blow up. At one point in time I was like, oh yes, like I'm gonna be a full-time content creator by this time. I'm gonna do this and this, and now I'm kind of seeing like that might not happen. So like, what's next? I cannot put all my eggs in one basket, period. Now that I'm getting a little bit older, I'm thinking career-wise, like, okay, where do we want to be headed? What's the next steps? What do we need to be doing? Y'all, I'm 27. Like, this is important. I basically told myself, like, if I'm not blown up by 30, like, my channel is not, like, doing numbers, if I'm not doing hella collabs and sponsorships and stuff like that, I'm shutting all of it down. I'm shutting all this shit down. Like, y'all just do not understand. One thing about adulting, you have to be realistic, and sometimes a lot of people would think being realistic is being negative, and sometimes it is, but being realistic means looking at things in reality. I've had my YouTube channel for 4 years and I'm only just over a little bit 2,000 subscribers. Me being a full-time content creator by 30, it might happen. I'm not even gonna lie, because things happen like literally overnight. But realistically speaking, oh, I'm tying this back. I need you to stay with me here. Realistically speaking, I've been thinking more so about like my corporate career, my professional career, whatever. Because I did go to school, okay? I did go and get my master's degree. So this whole content thing, if it's not working out for me, I'm shutting it down by 30. Like, you just have to look at things as how they are sometimes. And that's what I'm doing. But while I've been home, that's where my point is going, you guys. I know I went off on a tangent, but while I've been home, I've been able to, like, you know, focus more on my career and kind of get a feel of like what I want to do professionally if content creation isn't a thing for me, like I said, by the time I turn 30. Also, while I've been here, I have been trying to get myself on a budget. Now listen, a lot of people think that because I live with my parents that I just have it made. The things that I do buy and the things that I do, it is because it was budgeted to be that way. If I bought a pair of shoes, that is because I can afford those pair of shoes. If I'm going to get my nails done, my lashes done, it's because my budget, it has those things included. And I honestly feel like the things that I do, the shoes, the clothes, the nails, the things that I do, I don't feel like it's in excess. But a lot of people, you know, they see me and or they find out that I live with my parents and it's like, oh girl, you're so lucky, you must have all this money, blah blah blah. No, I guess you could say that I am making more money right now than I have been like in my life, but that's only because like every single time I get a new job or a new position or whatever, it's always better than the last. Every time I've quit a job and went somewhere else, it was always making more money. So I say that to say that the money that I have is just because I just been leveling up. I don't want to make it sound like I'm rich or wealthy because I'm not, but it's just, you know, when I move somewhere else, it's because it's better than where I was. So people think that, you know, you just have it made. And to a certain extent I do, because I did used to pay rent, $1,600. Being back home has taught me, I wouldn't say that I'm like the best with finances, but like I think I've been doing so good with saving money. I'm not gonna get into details or numbers, but I just think that I'm doing better than I was. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. I don't know if y'all have heard that audio.
I'll do the best I can with what I got. Oh!
Living with my parents, people assume that I'm spoiled. People assume that like I just don't have no type of expenses, not even considering the fact that I have student loans. Like hello. No, I don't pay rent, but I do pay student loans. I do have other bills, other expenses. I am saving money. So I don't just have it to where I can just buy all the stuff and do everything. Like I said, when you see me purchasing something, it's because it was budgeted that way. It's because I had it to spend it. I hate the fact that people think that I'm spoiled. I'm not spoiled. I am not spoiled. And it might sound scripted, I understand, because a lot of people who are spoiled, they will say the same thing. I'm not spoiled. When I started my YouTube channel, all my equipment came from me. It came from me, okay? And I was in the trenches. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was in the trenches when it came to money. I hate being called spoiled because people just think that you have everything handed to you, and I don't. I know people who are out on their own and their parents are still helping them, but because they're out on their own and they don't live at home, people don't call them spoiled. Another thing or issue that I've been kind of struggling with is, I guess, like how I would be perceived by other people because I do live at home with my parents. And a lot of people will say, I don't care what people think about me. It's a lie. I promise you, people who say that, especially the people who like make it a point to like get that across to everyone, they're lying. We all care a little bit. Typically, I don't really tell people that I do still stay at home because I just don't want to hear the comments. Really, that's just me in general as a person. I keep a lot of things to myself because I don't want to hear what you have to say about it. Rarely do I ever ask for advice. Rarely do I ever ask for suggestions because I really don't care to hear what you have to say. I really do hate that people who do still live with their parents, we are seen as like big bums. As far as goals and ambitions, I have that. I don't go around asking people for money. I have my own. You know, I don't sit at home all day and do nothing. When I get off of work, I do go to the gym. I do work on YouTube stuff. Like, come on, like I have things going for myself. I just don't pay rent. But there has been a lot of TikToks that I've seen where comments were just like not really the best. On TikTok, y'all know I've grown my following a little bit on TikTok, and I was trying to figure out like what type of content do I want to post on TikTok. And I was thinking about making a series of like the journey of basically like me leveling up, glowing up or whatever, and moving out of my parents' home for good, like it was gonna be a whole thing. But I've just gotten so discouraged because I see some of those comments about the things that people say, and I'm just like, I can't deal. It's a miracle that I'm even posting this on YouTube, but the only reason I'm posting this on YouTube is because not only did I want to start like giving you guys more type of transparent and honest type things, but I just know that there are other people like me. It's gonna be a very, very specific audience, and if I can reach y'all, it's gonna do me some justice if I could just reach you guys. Piggybacking off of my social media points, I think that a lot of people moved out of their parents' home and they weren't ready. There's a lot of people who are struggling right now and would literally struggle rather than to have help or to move back home. And I do understand that some people are not in the position to move back in with their parents. Some people don't have, you know, positive environments for them to thrive in. And, you know, we all have to do what we have to do. We have to do what's best for our life. What's best for our finances, what's best for our mental health. So everybody can't, but it's the fact that I think there would be a lot more people like me at home with their parents in their 20s if they weren't so pressured by outside factors. I was gonna say social media, but there's other things that play into it as well. We talk about building generational wealth, but when parents still do for their kids in ways that they can, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, she didn't get that by herself. Her daddy bought it for her. It ain't hers. I don't like that. I don't like that mindset. And we always say it takes a village. Okay, it does take a village. And I feel like it takes a village even after childhood. Like it takes a village in adulthood because we have to have people around us that's gonna help us. Right now, my parents are helping me when I have kids. If I have kids, I'm gonna do the same for them. If they need to come back home after college, guess what? Bring your ass back home. But I hate the way that social media portrays people who live at home, and I just hate that. And another thing is, I've been seeing a lot of younger 20-somethings. Like I'm 27, like I'm pushing 30 at this point, you guys. I'm over the hill. I'm over 25. I'm about to be 28 in 6 months. I've been seeing like 22-year-olds, 23-year-olds, and they be like, well, I'm still staying at home. I'm still with my parents. Like, it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. You're not gonna be there forever. It's not for permanent. It ain't for permanent, sis. It's just temporary. Like, but when I see younger 20-somethings, like, just saying like, oh, well, dang, I feel so bad. I don't have an apartment. I'm the only one out of my friends who doesn't have their apartment. Okay, but your friend with your apartment is not telling you how they busting their ass at 2 jobs to make their rent. Your friend that's at their apartment is not telling you that they have to get a roommate to make ends meet. Like, there's always sides to the story. Sometimes positive and sometimes negative, but we cannot go off of like things that we see on social media. And that's what I have to keep telling myself, because I was living by myself when I was in Atlanta, and I appreciated my time alone. I appreciated my personal space, but damn it, that freaking $1,600 rent was like eating me up every single month. The thing that I hate about living back at home, for one, like I said, I'm introverted and I don't like talking to people. I talk to you guys, which is technically not really talking to other people. I'm talking to a camera right now. There's nobody here. But I really don't like to talk to people, and some days I just wake up and I just don't want to be bothered. I don't want to talk. Sometimes if I'm on the clock and we have a meeting and I'm like, bruh, I don't want to be in this meeting. I don't want to talk. I do not want to talk to y'all. Like, sometimes I just hate talking because I just feel like it's just sucking everything out of me. And it just, I know it sounds very dramatic, but if you're an introvert, then you know, like, sometimes I just do not want to talk. My mom also works from home, so most of the time we are here together, and she just talk to the outside looking in. Everybody thinks that introverts are just being so rude and so stuck up and so standoffish, but sometimes I don't have anything to say. I don't talk to hear myself talk. If I'm saying something, I'm saying it with intention. Another thing is the noise. Y'all know I have a thing with noise, and actually this kind of started happening when I was in Atlanta, because I had this really noisy upstairs neighbor who had the heaviest feet and it drove me nuts. I'm very sensitive to noise. I don't want to hear anything. Or if I am like being stimulated in some type of way, if I'm watching TikToks or if I'm watching TV or watching a YouTube video, that's the only thing that I want to hear. If I'm watching TV, all I want to hear is the TV. If I'm watching TikToks, all I want to hear is the TikToks. If I hear, you know, some slam on the ground, if I hear the door open or slam on the ground, if I hear a car, y'all hear me in my videos all the time talking about the cars driving by. That shit drives me nuts. I be thinking that I'm going crazy. I don't know why or how I started to be like this. I don't want to hear the vacuum. I don't want to hear the blender. My mom, she makes smoothies all the time. I'll be about to die inside. Like, turn that mess off, bro. And that's one thing that I hate about being here, because it's always some type of noise. I absolutely hate it. And then of course now I don't have my own space. That's the thing with being by yourself or living alone. Like, you just have like the freedom to just move around or put your belongings anywhere. You don't have to ask anybody to do anything because it's just you. I can't do that now. I used to be a somewhat night owl where I would just like be up all hours of the night, sometimes doing schoolwork, sometimes working on YouTube videos. Now I can't do that because I still live with my parents. My mom, she used to say all the time, you need to enjoy this time with us. You should enjoy this time while you're here. And it's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just that I enjoy being by myself a little bit more. Honestly, I would like to encourage everybody to live by themselves at least for like 1 year. Some of y'all might go crazy because you have to be around people all the time. Or maybe you're not introverted. You might be extroverted. You might, you know, really like to be with people. But honestly, like, once you can, this doesn't mean to go and get your own apartment right now. I'm saying like once you can, once you're in a financial space to where you can live alone, or once you're like in a situation to where your lifestyle allows for you to be alone, live by yourself if you can. Get to know yourself. Another thing, I have to plan my videos around my parents. Like right now, nobody's at home. My camera picks up on every single thing. I had a video a couple of weeks ago where my sister was in the next room, not out, snoring, and you can hear her snoring in the background when I edited the video. And I was like, bruh. So I have to film my videos when nobody's here, either when nobody's here or like when everybody's asleep. When am I moving out? I don't know. That is the honest truth. I don't know when I'm moving out. And the thing about that is, because my job is remote right now, I could technically move anywhere, but I don't know where I'm gonna be for the long term. Sometimes you just don't know. And when I look at like my trend of like where I've been working, where I've been going, the past few years, every single year I've had a new job. So I don't want to move until I know for sure that this is my place, that this is my home. I don't think that I want to stay in South Carolina. If I have to, I will, but also I just feel like I need to go somewhere else. I just don't know where that somewhere else is. When am I moving out? I don't know, but if y'all stay subscribed to my channel and keep coming back to watch the updates, we can get into it. Because for right now, I'm kind of just like in my saving money phase, trying to figure some things out. My cousin is getting married in July. I figured I don't need to go anywhere until this wedding, okay? Next year, I'm hoping to be somewhere else. I just don't know where it is, but y'all gonna have to stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video off. And I just wanna say that if you are still living with your parents and you are in your 20s, I promise y'all, it is okay. It is okay. You have people that are going through the same things. I am one of them. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. If y'all made it all the way to the end of this video, comment. Let's see. If you made it to the end of this video, comment. What do we want to comment? Let's comment the money bag. The bag of money with the S on it with the dollar sign. I said S with the dollar sign. Because we getting coins all 2022. I don't care if you live with your mammy. We getting coins all 2022, period. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys. Wait, no, that's not what I normally say at the end of my videos. Oh, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow your girl on Instagram and TikTok, both at BuyMeAlexis, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
They just won't get closer to me, getting colder to me. You ain't no one to me. They won't fuck me me over my team, way too cautious, we too sober to leave it. 10 o'clock, feeling for the guap.